excited to do a pour today using Solar Color Dust Magic Pearls Mica powders in resin. I'm using our Crystal Edge Mold C for this pour, along with Bubblegum Pink, Purple Rose, and Deep Purple Mica powders from Solar Color Dust. I'm also using one of our little glitter cores in the center. I start off by putting clear resin just a little bit in the bottom so I can put my glitter core on it so it won't come through to the front. I put it face down, and as you can see, I have the name on the back of it on a piece of tape. It doesn't matter because no one will see it from the back side. After I mix up my resin, I split it into 4 different containers. I'm going to be starting with the Bubblegum Pink, which is, as the name says, very bubblegum looking. Because I've worked with this mica powder in the past, I know that it's very light, so I knew I needed at least 3 to 4 scoops. I think I end up using 4 scoops. These Magic Pearls Mica powders really mix well into resin. There's usually not a lot of blobs or things hanging around afterwards. As you can see, even against the white stick, it's still a little bit pale. That was only 2 tiny scoops, so I go back and add some more. Now it's looking a little bit better, but maybe I'll add one more for good measure. I don't want this lighter pink to have to fight against the darker pink, so it was imperative that this got a little bit darker in richness. That looks pretty good to me. The next color is Purple Rose. It's always hard choosing colors ahead of time because you're not sure how they're going to look mixed in the resin. As you'll see when I start mixing this one, this has a blue hue to it even though it is called Purple Rose and it looks very bright pink. There's the shimmer of blue in there. I got a little worried wondering if this was really going to work in my pour, but since it was from the same pink color family, I figured I'd be okay. I think I ended up adding 4 scoops to this color as well, just to make sure it was rich. Oh, the little glitter core's off on a dance on its own. That looks good. And the next color is Deep Purple Magic Pearls Mica powder from Solar Color Dust. I wasn't quite sure how this would look in resin because it looked very dark in the package. And when you mix it up, it does look dark, but in the finished product it came out looking beautiful. Because this pigment was so dark, I ended up using only 2 scoops because I knew it would overpower those paler pinks. It looks a little bit red there compared to the pinks, but cross my fingers. I'm now using some Octopus fluids, resin ink, and sweet cherry. I only used 1 drop of that, and then I had some Marabu, alcohol ink, and rainbow. That also has a somewhat shimmer to it, blue shimmer to it. I just wanted a little bit of color for a clear push. I hate just clear, so the little bit of color at least matches with the colors I'm using, and we'll see how it goes. Now it's time to pour, or after I add more drops of the Marabu alcohol ink. I start off by pouring about half of the pale resin ink resin into the center to cover the glitter core. Then I take the deep purple around the top outside edges, because with our Crystal Edge silicone molds, they have very sparkly crystals and you want to have a deep color in there to refract the light. The next color I used was the Purple Rose. I figured the blue shimmer of this color would look good against that darker, deep purple on the outside. Again, I just poured in a concentric circle on the inside of the darker color and not going towards the middle or not covering the middle up, leaving some room for the next color. The next one is the Bubblegum Pink. Wow, that's bright. I ended up going on top of the Purple Rose color a little bit, just so not to cover up the center that much with the mica. Once I was done pouring the Bubblegum Pink, I went back to what was left of my clear push that had the 1 drop of sweet cherry and I think the 8 drops of the Marabu alcohol ink, and just pushed the resin out. What's nice about using our glitter cores in the center is you don't have to jam glitter into it at this point in time. I actually went back and added some more of the deep purple color along the edges where it was still missing the crystal edges. Then I picked up the heat gun to try and move the resin, get it moving. You don't necessarily have to do this, but sometimes it gives very interesting results. You have to be careful to not get too close or you'll blow the resin right out of the mold. Oops. I don't have it on video, but I did take a syringe and pull some of the lighter, clear fluid out of the middle to get it to close up a little bit more. And now the demolding. Again, I used our Crystal Edge Mold C for this pour. And wow, that looks beautiful. That blue from the purple rose looks great against that deep purple color on the edges.